County Public Works Procurement and Contracting Committee for Wednesday, January 22nd is now called to order. Janine, would you please call the roll?
And just as a reminder to all who are in attendance, this meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the county's YouTube page. Calling the roll, Mr. Jones.
Here.
Mr. Castleberry.
Here.
Ms. Conwell. Ms. Conwell is absent. Mr. Miller.
Present.
Mr. Sweeney.
Present.
There is a quorum.
All right, thank you, Janine. All right. Janine, has anyone signed up for public comment?
No, Mr. Chair, no one is signed in.
All right. Well, I think I'll start off by saying it is good to be back in Public Works. I chaired this committee back in 2011. It was my dream committee, and it is great to be back. So I look forward to working with my committee members and doing good work here in the coming years. And with that, we'll get started. Do we have a motion to approve our minutes from the November 20th, 2024 meeting?
I so move. Second.
Probably moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Our minutes are approved. All right, so we have a matter that's been referred to committee. Janine, if you'd like to read that one into the record.
Resolution number 2025-0033, declaring that public convenience and welfare requires the reconstruction of Lee Road from Invermere Avenue to Miles Road in the city of Cleveland in connection with the 2024-2027 Transportation Improvement Program.
Nicole English with Public Works. Good to be back with you, Chair. I can't believe it's been 2 months. It's not because we haven't been doing work. We've been working hard over these last 2 months. We have a couple items today that we'll present. So just for some of the folks maybe who are new, or just as a refresher, we have to do welfare and convenience for any project that we're starting. So this is step one of a project. This is when we tell you we have an intent to do a project, how we intend to fund it. We've worked with the city at this point on an agreement. And so once this step takes place, we will execute an agreement with the city, and then we'll start design, and then construction will come. So you'll see this project several times as it goes through the process. This is the front end. We might be hiring a design consultant. You would see that contract either at BOC or council, depending on the amount. As we design, then when construction plans come and we award those would come back again to council. So, and if there's right of way to be bought, which we have a project here today later about right of way, that'll come too. So projects you'll start seeing over and over again, and these are kind of just the steps in the process. So public welfare and convenience is step one. That's what we're doing here with Lee Road. There's two pieces of Lee. The first one that was in Shaker Heights got approved last year. They are both included in the NOACA tip, and NOACA had reached out to the county to say, could the county sponsor both of these projects in order to get them both done in a timely fashion. And so we've agreed to both. It took a little bit longer. Cleveland was still working out the details of what their project would look like. So the Shaker one is going forward. You'll see a design consultant getting hired also on this agenda for that, but this is now the Cleveland piece. So we've worked out with Cleveland an agreement where they have most of their funding is in federal funds, about 80% is in federal funds. They're paying about 8% of the project, and we've agreed to $1 million towards the project, but we will also run the design for them and run the construction of the project, which is really a benefit to Cleveland because they currently cannot run federal aid projects, road and bridge projects. So this is step one on that project, and we're just going to be getting started once this is approved. Sorry for the long-windedness.
No, thank you, Nicole. So again, that was $1 million from the county, but
Correct.
The city is contributing.
They're contributing around 2.4 million, and then the federal share is 15.3 about from federal sources.
All right, are there any questions from the committee? Okay. Are there any goals on the project?
So this section of Lee is really pretty complicated. There's on-street parking that is actually encroaching on the roadway right away. So we're working with Cleveland. They're kind of going to drive the train because, again, these are their businesses, their residents, on what they want on the road. But the idea is to be inclusive and include some kind of ped and bike accommodation that will work into the Shaker piece pretty seamless. So it might not look exactly the same as Shaker, but it will function in a similar way so that you can accommodate all modes of transportation. So they have some parking to work out, but in general, it's to make it friendlier of a street for walking, biking, and the cars. So really a multimodal investment.
Will that pet and bike run through both Shaker and Cleveland?
Yes.
What was the condition of the road when?
The condition is a 58 on the pavement condition rating, which is fair to poor. It's in pretty bad shape. And it carries just under 20,000 vehicles a day, so it's heavily traveled too. And it's about 1.1 miles.
All right, thank you. If there are any other questions, no further questions?
I have one.
Yes, Councilman.
Mr. Chairman, Nicole, what are the projected funding sources?
The federal aid money that they have a combination from NOACA of CMAQ, which is related to the air quality. They have STBG, which is normal NOACA funds. They have transportation enhancement funds. And then it is projected from NOACA to take a SIB loan. You know that NOACA often uses the SIB loans essentially to supplement their STBG funds. And then they have a small amount, just under $500,000 from highway safety that they got from ODOT. So a whole slew of federal funds.
So, Mr. Chairman, Nicole, does this mean that we're going to be using the federal diversity goals rather than our own local ones?
Correct. So it'll be a DBE percentage, which has been running around 8% on most of our projects.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions? Not, we'll entertain a motion.
I move to refer for second reading.
Second reading. All right.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution number 2025-0034, approving right-of-way exhibits as set forth in plat number M-6001 for the reconstruction of Lake Road, Clifton Boulevard project in the cities of Lakewood and Rocky River in connection with the Cuyahoga County Lakefront Access Plan.
Hi, Jessica French from Cuyahoga County Department of Public Works. I am the land deputy there. As Nicole stated, we have convenience and welfare, and then later on in the project, we have what's called authority to acquire right-of-way and approval of the right-of-way plans. For this project, the Department of Public Works is constructing along Lake Road, Clifton Boulevard, that spans between Linda Street and Rocky River and Webb Road in Lakewood. This road is being reconfigured. There's going to be a reduction in lanes. Right now, it's 2 in each direction, and after this project, it'll be 1 in each direction. And there will also be a new shared use path on the north side of Lake Clifton along the whole road between those two areas. Right now, the county is finishing up the design, and so now we're in the acquisition of property phase. For this project, no permanent property is needed, but we do need some temporary property to construct the project. We need to acquire 13 temporary easements along this area. The estimated cost for these temporary easements is about $50,000, and that'll be using road and bridge funds. And I will open it up to any questions.
All right, any questions from the committee? Yes, Councilman Miller.
So, what is the timeline on this project?
So we hopefully, we will be starting acquisition very soon. That will finish up late summer. We will then go out to bid early fall, with construction really beginning of next year, 2026.
Okay, and Mr. Chairman, could you have my name added, please?
Add President Miller's name to this item. If there are no further questions, I'll make a motion that we move this to the full council for second reading.
I do,
Yeah.
can I also request second reading suspension so we can, usually the right-of-way area, our timeline is very condensed just because design takes some time. So I am requesting second reading suspension so we can go out and talk to the property owners and get that rolling as soon as possible to keep with our schedule.
Were there any other questions on this item from anyone? If not, we will entertain second reading suspension.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I'll second the motion.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution number 2025-0035, making an award on requisition number 14515 to Chagrin Valley Engineering in the amount not to exceed $640,150 for engineering design services for the reconstruction of Lee Road from the Shaker Heights Northern Corporation line to Invermere Road in the city of Cleveland.
Nicole English with Public Works. So this is the Shaker Heights part of Lee Road that I was just talking about a couple items ago. So they were a little bit further ahead, and so we already had gone out to hire the design consultant for this project. So we've selected Chagrin Valley Engineering. There was 4 firms that submitted. It was an RFQ, so they're scored based on their qualifications, and they received an 82 out of 100. The next firm was 80, 69, and 63 were the other 2, so they were deemed the most qualified. We've negotiated a price with them. I will say after we did this and we're putting their contract through, that's when Cleveland came to us and were ready to start their project. And so we gave them the option that either they could tag into this design contract or if they wanted to hire someone different, and they have chosen to tag on to this contract. So we didn't have time to change it at this point and negotiate because Shaker wanted to keep their project moving. So we will be coming forward with an amendment. So just know that that's coming, and it wasn't like something we didn't know about, but we wanted to push this one through in order to get the Shaker project moving at the request of Shaker Heights. So Cleveland, we gave them kind of the option as to what they would do. So this number will go up to include the Cleveland project. It makes the most sense to design them all as one piece. We just didn't want to hold back Shakers. So we're presenting right now the design contract.
When do you expect to present that?
We've started the scope negotiations. We haven't gotten to the fee yet, so I'd say you'll probably see it in about a month. So it'll come quickly.
Any questions on this item?
And just to President Miller's point about DBE, this is the design side, so we can use our county goals. So we did use our county goals on the diversity, and they committed to meeting 19% SBE, 8% MBE, and 3% WBE. So we are able to use those on the design side.
19% SBE.
8% MBE, and 3% WBE.
Excellent. All right. Further questions? Not, well, we'll entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
Seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. All right. And this is for second reading.
If that's okay with you, second reading, it can go regular, second reading, that's fine.
Janine, you can read our next item.
Resolution number 2025-0036, making an award on requisition number 15189 to Perk Company in the amount not to exceed $2,756,758.25 for resurfacing of Snow Road from Ridge Road to State Road in the city of Parma.
Nicole English with Public Works, and we're really covering the gamut here. We're giving you one of almost all the different items that we get, and this one happens to be in Parma, Councilman, so that's good. But this is a federal aid project that was scheduled through NOACA. We had already designed it. This has gone out to bid now. It's come in. We received 6 bids. We are taking the lowest and best bidder, which is Perk. They came in 2.2% under our engineer's estimate. Typically, these projects we would hope to be funded 80% federal, 10% city, 10% the county. However, the cost had gone up a little bit during design, so it ended up being 76% federal, 12% county, 12% Parma. There was a DBE goal set because of it being federal through ODOT, which is 8%. The contractor is meeting that. It was last resurfaced in 2009, and it's about 1.26 miles long of a project. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
through the chair, Nicole, thank you for the presentation. Obviously, this isn't my district. It's a very important thoroughfare over in Parma, and I know the timing of it's great. We do have a lot of the Cleveland Water lead line replacement, so this project's very necessary. I'm glad to see it moving forward. Thank you for the information today.
You're welcome.
Excellent.
And this can go 3 readings. Obviously, we're not starting roadway work in this temperature, so no problem with that. But I will say we bid a lot of projects late in the fall this year, and the pricing we're getting is really pretty good. I think it gives contractors some time to sort of get their schedules set for the spring, and so we've seen some pretty good bidding come out of the fall. So I think that you'll see, we have several that are going to be coming forward in the next couple of meetings, that the pricing and the engineer's estimate's really close. So I think we hit a good time. Just, I know President Miller had been interested in kind of bidding climate and where we've been, so just to give you an update.
Your chairman, to Nicole, on this one, how did the bid amount come in relation to the engineer's estimate?
2.2% under. And then I'd say the difference between the low bid and the next bid was $34,000. So on a almost $3 million project, that's really close. So we knew the bids are pretty good then.
Further questions? Not, we'll entertain a motion.
I
So
move that we refer for second reading.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. All right, thank you, Nicole. All right, well, we breezed right through it. Is there any miscellaneous business? If not, if nothing else holds